Hi everyone, and welcome back to Stamp with Anna. Today I'm going to show you how I made this simple little card using the Stamparatus. It really is so easy. For stamp sets, I'm going to be using the Daisy Delight, and this one here is made using the inks I have are Pear Pizzazz and the new Highland Heather, and that's also this color here. But this one I'm going to shake it up a little bit, and I'm going to use Blushing Bride because I wanted a pink one. So the first thing we're going to do is go over our paper, and the card base is thick Whisper White, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then we have a piece of crumb cake, 5.5 by 3. A piece of Blushing Bride, which is 5.5 by 2.5, and another piece of Whisper White, which is 5.5 by 2 1/4. And that is the piece that we're going to be doing our stamping on. So I'm going to bring in the Stamparatus, and in case you are unfamiliar with the Stamparatus, this is Stampin Up's stamping tool, stamp placement tool, and it does so much more than just help you line up your stamps. It's just a great tool, and I will be doing some more videos using the tool. So it comes with 2 plates, and one opens on the top and one opens on the side. We're going to be using the top hinges. So I'm just going to take this part off right there and put that aside so that I only have one. It comes with a grid sheet, and it also comes, this is where you would what you would use if you are using a red rubber stamp, and it comes with a foam pad, which is what you would use if you're using a photopolymer stamp set, and that is what we are using today, so we're going to be using that. And I like to put my silicone pad underneath it when I'm using photopolymer. These hinges right here, there's a lot of space here, and I just want to ensure that I get a really good image, so I always just put that extra shim underneath there, especially if I'm stamping in the corner. In this case I'm not. And underneath it there are 2 slots for magnets. These magnets are super strong. So I have put a little bit of painter's tape on the side of mine, and that's just so that I can easily handle them. You want to make sure that you don't have them touch each other, because you can crack them, you can get your skin caught in them, and they are kind of difficult to take apart. So I do try to keep mine separately. So the first thing I'm going to do for this card is I'm going to bring in my piece of Whisper White that is 5.5 by 2 1/4, and I'm going to put this up along this side here, and I'm going to put one of my magnets right here and one of my magnets right here. Now I'm going to line up where I want from the Daisy Delight. I'm going to use this here and these up here. I'm going to line this up where I want it, and I want it to go kind of close to the bottom there and off to the edge. I want to put 5 across. So what I'm going to do is line that up, and I come down and push, and now my stamp is mounted on my base. Super simple, right? Now I'm going to come in with my Pear Pizzazz, and I'm going to ink this up. Now you can ink this up in a couple different ways. You can hold on to the back here and just ink it, or you can lie it flat and put your stamp case underneath it and ink it, whatever works for you. And I don't have a lot of space in my general area here for my video, so I'm going to just hold on to it right here. So again, I'm going to just stamp that up, and I'm going to come down and just press. And there. Now I want to have my leaves, my foliage, spaced evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this plate up and just slide the hinge over one. I'm going to come in. I don't have to touch my stamp. My stamp is fine. I'm going to come in and ink that up. And I'll come down. And there it is. It's same height, same spacing in between. I'm going to lift that up, come down, and do it again. And this time I'm going to move one of my magnets. I'm going to leave this magnet right there, and I'm just going to push this magnet over and come down. There's my third one. Stamp it up, move my hinge, come down. There's my fourth one. Move my hinge, come down, and there they are. And they're all perfectly aligned. They're equal distance on the bottom, equal distance on the top, and equal distance in between each one. Perfect. That in itself is worth what you pay for the tool. Now what I want to do is I have a couple options here. I can keep this mounted here and just turn it over, and now I have another surface to mount this. I could take this one off and then just mount this right here, but I'm going to keep it on this side. So what I want to do now is I want to line up where this goes, and I'm going to just wiggle that around. Now you could do this with a block. This is a hard stamp to line up perfectly. So having to do this, line this up 5 different times would be a real pain. So what I'm going to do is just line it up once. I think I like that. And press it down. And now it's going to go exactly where I need it to go on my project. Now this is a very small stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm going to come down very lightly, press and up, and you can see it's exactly where it needs to go. Now because this is a small stamp, I am going to wipe it in between my stamps. So I'm going to lift, bring it over on one hinge, stamp, come down and up. Now I'm going to move this one over. I'm going to clean off my stamp, ink that up, move my hinge over, down and up. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Clean off my stamp, move my hinge, come down and stamp. And then the last time, I'm going to clean this off, and I'm hoping that you can see that. I'm going to bring that down on camera. It's dawning on me, you might not be able to see that. Stamp it up, down and up. And there is all of my stamping. Let me just take this off. I'm going to remove my magnets. And there we have that. Each image is perfect. It's exactly the same as the one before. And I didn't have to fuss with trying to align it each and every time. And I simply got that result by moving my hinges. Now I do have a card here that I made a while ago, and I used the same technique, except instead of hinging across the top, I hinged along the side. I lined up my stamp, I moved my hinge down and did it again all the way down, and I got a different look. So you can use the Stamparatus hinges, the hinge technique, either along the top or along the side. All right, so that's that. Now I'm going to attach this to my pieces here. Let me just close up my ink. I have a little bit of snail, and I'm going to attach this piece. I'm going to mat this on my Blushing Bride, and it's right up to the edge here because everything is 5.5 inches because it's going across the whole card. Okay. And now I'm going to attach a little bit more adhesive and center that. It has a larger border on the crumb cake. Now I have this little overhang here, not a problem. I'm going to bring in my snips and just trim that. Perfect. Now I'm going to attach that on my card. And I'm going to attach it kind of towards the top because I do want to stamp right here. So again, apply some snail. Bring it up towards the top. I really do like the combination of pink and crumb cake. It's one of my favorite combinations. Now from the stamp set, I'm going to use the stamp that says, "Your thoughtfulness brightened my day." Oh, I didn't have a block. 1 second, let me get a block. Now I could just mount that on the Stamparatus as well, but it is just one stamp, so I'm going to just mount it on my acrylic block. And now I'm going to bring in my pad because it's photopolymer. I'm going to ink that up and come down here, right about here, straight down, straight up. And the last thing I'm going to do is just attach a little bow, and I'm going to use a glue dot for that. And I'm going to put that right here in the center. Whoop, got stuck on my fingernail. Put that just on the center arrangement. And there it is. How simple was that? Perfectly aligned flowers. Same distance, same border on the top, on the bottom, and in between. And each flower is perfect, and I did not have to fuss trying to align that stamp each and every time. So here it is using the beautiful Highland Heather, the new Highland Heather, and here it is using the Blushing Bride. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you will take advantage of all the features that the Stamparatus has. There are so many different ways you can do it. As a matter of fact, I had a class a couple weeks ago, and I showed the ladies 8 different ways. Was it 7? 7 or 8 different ways to use the Stamparatus. It's just a wonderful, wonderful tool. And if you would like any information on this project or any of the products that I've used, please contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you would like a new fall winter catalog that is going live September 5th, let me know. I'll be glad to drop it in the mail to you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.